guys, we're in Columbus, Texas, the Lone Star State. Mosquitoes are biting us. Ridiculous. But let's go for it, you know?
So we're doing something a little bit different this time. Pretty much everyone that we've spoken to that you've seen in our previous episodes, we've asked additional questions aside from the ones that we featured. One of those being, in your opinion, what is the greatest piece of music of all time? So that's our question of the day for you guys, and we'll get to see about 30 or so different answers from our guests. So let's get into it.
Wow, you just ask a musician that question.
Oh, dude.
Wow, this is gonna take a while. This is gonna take a while.
All right, now, I don't want to hear nobody call me basic, and nobody call me lame or nothing. All right, I'm kidding you not. Anything Travis Scott has ever made in his entire existence, that's what the greatest thing ever thing. No doubt, no question. If you see this, I promise you, invite me to a show. I even got your drink right here. If you gotta blur that out, I'm sorry, but it's amazing.
You can't do that to me. You can't do that to me. I love so many different types of genres, so many different types of musicians. You can't do that to me. I don't know.
I'm a music minor, so you asked
Yeah,
the wrong
you
person.
can't. Ooh, I don't know about that
The
one.
greatest piece of all time. Damn.
Can I say 5? Please. Okay, definitely Mr. Brightside by The Killers, just because that one is a timeless bop. You can be in freaking 2030, that song plays, and people are gonna dance to it.
Well, my favorite artist is Lil Wayne. We from the same hood, the 17, Holly Grove. I look up to him. He's great. He don't write nothing down. He's very from the mind, you know what I'm saying? So everything he spits is very lyrical, and if you sit down and listen to it, like, he be having lessons and everything. So I would have to say Lil Wayne, because he the best to me. So
I personally just think all music is great. I used to play trombone, and honestly, I don't really dislike any music, any genre, anything like that, because it's all from your mind and creative. Every piece of music comes from someone's heart, and they really had to. You laughing at me?
No, I love the sentiment.
Man, I think you asked like the most indecisive people. Like, I think anyone else here would probably have an immediate answer for you.
Violin concert.
So you're just making up words.
Okay, so Lacrimosa from Amadeus really hit hard, just because knowing like the background behind it and everything it was like, speaking of legacies, right? Like, that was the last thing that he left.
I would have to say Stairway to Heaven.
Oh my God. John Coltrane. Sentimental Mood.
Okay, why that one?
It's haunting. It's classic. And it's very soothing.
Definitely Wildlife by Talking Heads. That song's eccentric. Dancing in the Dark by Bruce Springsteen. I love how I'm just like saying these so fast, and like I have so many that I like. Gosh, what else? There's this song called The Blessing by Kari Jobe. I'm spiritual, so probably be an unpopular opinion, but I think that's a really dope song that people should check out.
Michael Jackson.
Any particular song?
See, I like the weird Michael Jackson songs that nobody really knows. I like Ghost by Michael Jackson, but I'll just say Pretty Young Thing for now.
Michael Jackson, Off the Wall.
Yeah, that's a good one. Yeah, that's a good one.
Top that one.
Yeah. I would say like rock and roll, maybe early rock.
Anyone in particular?
I can't think of any names. Maybe like Chuck Berry. Somewhere in that time, yeah, early rock.
God is everything. God created the ability for us to play music. You have an ability to play an instrument. She does. He does. Anybody's watching this. Anybody here can play anything. Prince played over 100 instruments. and literally to play them. I think the greatest single piece of music ever created was the fact that music was created.
Okay.
That's the only thing I can
Okay,
explain.
yeah, I don't see how I can follow that up.
I
That was just wrong. No.
That's so hard. The Beatles.
And also, gosh. My fifth song. Just because there's so many, I would like to like shout out. So if people, when they see this, they like look at these artists and these songs. Probably also, there's this, I'm trying to see. There's so many like indie artists that I can like talk about. There's this guy called Coda the Friend, and he has a song named Colorado. It's really good. Those are just the ones I can think of off the top of my head. Top of my head, sorry.
Okay. If there's one thing that I could just listen to on repeat. Ooh, okay, I'm just gonna say it would have to be Panic at the Disco, A Fever You Can't Sweat Out, that whole entire album.
I don't listen to music so often, and it's kind of weird to hear someone say that, but I mean, I've been listening to Imagine Dragons. I mean, they have good music, but that's all I pretty much listen to. Almost like 80s rock, some of there, and some modern music.
Tool's Lateralis really blows me away. It being in accordance with the Fibonacci and the message and everything about it, just it blows me away. I'm not saying that's the greatest piece that has ever been, but it means a whole lot to me.
Alfred Reed, Invictus. It's a march. It's an old march by Alfred Reed.
That was a really, really hard question to answer.
Can I like list albums because I'm like
Whole discographies.
Yeah, I feel like overall, like right now, I feel Kendrick Lamar because his music tells the experience of like blackness and like even as someone who grew up with like not many black problems growing up, I feel like his albums are like literally a piece of art. Like it's art. Like it really needs to be looked into, studied.
Metal.
Yellow Submarine by the Beatles. It's kind of like a joke online that like, oh, hate the Beatles, but it's like, that better be a joke or something violent's gonna happen.
Okay. Metal, all the way.
Why is that?
Just because I feel like with metal, the metal does a very, very great job with merging genres together and make it into something more unique. You know, like, I know it's a weird example because I know a lot of people have strong opinions on this, but I know with Limp Bizkit, I'd say they personally did a good job with rap and metal. And then you got some other bands like Nightwish who combined orchestra with metal. That turned out pretty well. And then you have bands like Icy Stars who combine electronic music with metal music. I mean, Korn did that too with Skrillex. So really, like, metal in general and its like defined form is so good. I love it. I love that stuff so much.
It was just the fact that music can heal, it can kill, it can steal, it can cause greed, it can cause all the 7 deadly sins, it can cause you to do all the sins, because there's blasphemy of the Holy Spirit and everything else is in music. There's devil worshiping music, there's every kinds of bits of music, but for everybody in the world, there's one song that can cause a person to make them or break them, to make a person feel that they belong in this world or they don't belong in this world. And music's been a cause of life and death.
I'm thinking about within this era. I know someone's like, oh, she doesn't know nothing before the 2000s. I know music, but I can't think right now. It still caught me off guard.
BTS.
I feel like BTS also their albums spoke onto like the schooling in like South Korea and their society. Like I feel like I got so many like, different. Oh my god. Then there's Hosier with his music. He like talks about everything, and he brings like activism in his music. And then Beyonce everything.
Oh yeah. Oh my God, I didn't say a Beyonce song.
I feel like Beyonce's Lemonade really defined the culture when it came out.
For sure.
My Dying Bride. I mean, a lot of their songs. Offhand, anything in particular? No. I mean, as far as like one particular song, maybe like Metallica One, but it's a long song. There's fast parts, there's slow parts. It's got a good message. So not necessarily good message, but it's a good song.
Genre, I would feel anywhere from hard rock to heavy metal, and I like the band Attila and Chelsea Grin.
Okay.
Heavy stuff.
I'm gonna go with "Wish You Were Here" from Pink Floyd. That's like whenever I need a go-to song, that's always gonna be mine for me right there.
Juice WRLD.
Oh yeah, okay. So see, again, you're asking a guy that studies music, and so the greatest piece of music of all time. So like it can be rock, can be classical. You can go back to hymnals. I would have to say Mozart's.
No, you're not. You can't pick my answer every time. Go ahead.
Yeah, no, I think his Fifth Symphony and the full movements is probably one of the greatest composed pieces of music.
That was my answer. He took my answer.
Okay. I give my number one song to Peter Gabriel's "In Your Eyes," but specifically the 10-minute edition of it, not the like radio edit version.
Okay.
I would say that is.
NWA's first album.
And God, so many. I don't know. High School Musical. Like,
Yes, High School Musical is an incredible.
It started
incredible.
Disney Factory was at a peak at that time for the 2000 kids. So High School Musical, not that deep, but it gave us our childhood.
I said it's an incredible, but it has incredible tunes on it.
Yeah.
Come on now, everyone knows a High School Musical song, and if you don't, you're lying.
Single greatest piece of music. This is tough. I will have to say Future Coding Crazy. Yeah, that's it.
Y'all are asking indecisive people decisive questions. What's yours?
All of the Disney soundtrack ever.
Thank you, finally.
All of it.
Yeah, I think Aladdin. That's good.
Oh, The Lion King.
I think Guardians of the Galaxy has the absolute best soundtrack.
I would think the greatest piece of music ever written would be the fact that music was created for choices, because it's such a beautiful thing. It's just, I would recommend, and even though me being a Christian and Sully from Godsmack not being a Christian, I used to really like that music, and I don't listen to it no more, but he said something about music that you could never imagine not having something to tap your foot to, or if there wasn't music, there wouldn't be no sounds I feel like there wouldn't be no sounds of birds, because that's music to your ears. So yeah, that's my answer. I'm sorry it took so long. I do apologize. I hope people would.
I'll just say ditto, baby. I like that.
So, how about you? Greatest piece of music of all time?
We're gonna go with like artists like MGK and stuff like that, but just like the song in general. Never really thought about it. I'm gonna say Driver's License. That is like a new hit that happened, and I like it. I think that like that song hit deep, and like it had a personal connection with me. I like it. It's good.
Okay, fair enough. I think that personally we would be remiss if we failed to mention the one song that has been proven to save the world, that being Get Swifty. Absolutely greatest piece of music of all time. Thank you, Dan Harmon. Thank you, Justin Roiland. Thank you, Rick Sanchez. So we should be uploading another one very soon, featuring some of the people that you saw in this episode that haven't been featured on our channel yet. So we should be in San Antonio by then, hopefully.
All right. Well, Thanks, guys.
You can't take life too seriously. I know from firsthand, like, stop overthinking, man. It will ruin everything. Too much hate in the world. You gotta love everybody the way they are, no matter what. So, yeah, pretty much it.
Alrighty.
Cool.